Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? So I am busy. I've just started off doing the planting up here. We've spent the night. I've chopped up a few more trees and threw them into the Gens HE700, the placeable there. And I've sort of done most of what I'm going to do with at least chucking them into the Gens there. I'm going to be trying some other things as well. Right now, I am just planting the wheat here. We didn't plant the wheat up in this field last week. I did yesterday. I did the planting of the radishes, and we've got wheat planted in our fields down the bottom. If I just show you here very quickly, so we got wheat in those three down there, and growth. We're actually both of those are ready to harvest, and we've got field 15 nearly ready to harvest, and we haven't even planted this one up here. So I'm planting this one now, and I'm kind of hoping that we can sort of do the harvest while we're doing other things. I did say that I might want to do the harvest. Right, it's not going to let me do that. For some reason, it doesn't like it when you've only got you got like part of it finished on one side. It really does get a bit peculiar with it. As soon as you go to a full width there, it's just fine, and it's turned. I think that was me, actually. I think I may have actually turned it a little bit too far. I'm not going to be buying one of these challenges again. They are so ridiculously sensitive on the steering. I really don't like it. I've driven a lot of different tractors in my time, and I've tried all sorts of things from the brand spanking new to quite old machinery. Although some of you probably realised after Water Valley this week that new machinery that has been produced in the last 10 years, I haven't driven much in the way of tractors from those, because there are some things that are shown up in the game that I'm not familiar with, I've not seen before, or I've certainly not used in real life. And it's been very nice being able to get a bit of an education from all of you folks about what the different things are and what they're for and so on. So I've quite enjoyed that. Anyway, my question for this week, we have got at the moment in our garage, if we go to our leased items, there we go, we want to go through here, and that one right there, the Fendt GT 255, I was using that one just yesterday in our episode. We've loaded it up with wood chips. We're going to be doing something with that very shortly, not quite yet though. That one I've been using, and what I want to know is, do you want me to buy it? Do you want it to become a permanent addition to our fleet here in Goldcrest Valley? Yes or no, it's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let me know what you think, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Do you want me to buy that Fendt tractor and let it become a permanent part of our fleet, or would you rather I just returned it after we've used it for this week and maybe next week? This one's going to carry on. We're probably going to have to run some seed up here at some point, and we'll worry about that when that happens. I'm actually thinking of changing the way that we've got our seed set up, so we may do that in the next few episodes. It'll be seed and fertilizer, and then we could use those conveyor belts for something else. One of the conveyor belts I want to use for something else now anyway. Before we go back to doing some more forestry stuff, I'd like to take a look at our silage, because I believe some of it, I'm hoping, will be ready to sell. Okay, I have plans down here. One of those plans does not involve this one being full of seed, which is a most inconvenient fact. So I'm going to bring this one out, and what I'm going to do is I'm abolishing the seed and fertilizer system that we've been using here. It's served us well, but I want something that is a little bit different now, and there is now a mod available that is going to allow me to do that. So I won't set it up yet, but I am going to be removing a couple of these conveyor belts. I want this one out of here, which I'll just pull this back here like this. Then if you go tip anywhere, it'll just empty out the belt. Is it going to go in an infinite loop? It is. It's going in an infinite loop. If I pull forward a bit, it should hopefully... Oh no, it's not an infinite loop. It was just stopping because... Right, now I've got to turn off the tip anywhere. It's just because there wasn't enough room to actually tip. And I bring that one out, and I turn the engine off on that one and fold it up, which basically just puts that hitch down like that. Then we've got this one over here, and this one, I'll start this one up, and backwards I've got to go. So I'll come out here, and I'll spin it round. I'll use the tip anywhere, and I'll tip the little bit of fertilizer that's left on it down on the ground over there. I'm wondering if maybe I should have just put it all into the fertilizer spinner. No, it'll be alright. We'll do it like this, and if I back this one up, lower that down so that I can get it roughly in line, and bring it back over to that heap there. Oop, too far. Tip anywhere, and dump that bit right there so that we've got all of that out. There we go. I'll bring it forward, and I will turn the engine off on that one. Right, so now I've got those two conveyor belts there ready to use. I'll come over and I'll get the tractor to take this big conveyor belt, and the smaller one, I'm actually going to take that one up with the pickup. You know what? I think we might actually try to do this using the follow me. Oops. Okay, don't throw your weights on the ground. There we go. That one's got to go on there. You can only pull this one with a 3-point linkage. It doesn't go on a regular hitch. So we'll pull that one up like that. I'm going to move these couple of items here as well. And the sawmill mod that we're going to be getting, I'm going to be placing that right there in the middle of the yard, because this is one of the very few actual flat places on the entire map. Most of the fields have got like a slight slope on them, which is a little bit inconvenient. We could use, even field 20, if you have a look, even if we were to buy field 20, that one does have a slight slope across it. And there's no fields, I think, that have got absolutely dead level. And that's a bit of a problem. Maybe field 30, 29 or 28 have got some dead level on them, but we don't own them, and it's just going to be really expensive. So we can put it there. I've tested it, and it does fit. I was thinking of maybe putting one of those Gen 700s around here as well, just sort of help things out a bit, but I'm not sure about that. We'll wait and see on that particular one. Let me just climb off of here. So yeah, we can put it down here. You do see some of the shrubbery sort of showing through in a couple of points, but I think it's actually okay. I think we could get away with that and it still look pretty good. Purely because, we could just sell this shed over here. This one is one that is one of the placeable ones. We could sell it off completely, and then we wouldn't have to worry about it. We could stick the sawmill sort of over on that side, and it wouldn't be getting in the way of anything. Now, it should be, if we go Control F for follow, and head distance is 20. I'm hoping that'll be enough, so that then we can follow this one. Oh, no, I'm not. I don't want to actually be in that one. I want to be in this one. Although, because I've got follow, I think I'm actually following the one that's on the back of the tractor. Oh, it is following it, though. That's okay. So we'll leave that one following like that. I know I said that I was doing forestry stuff today, but I'd like to start selling some of this silage, and now I'm actually thinking it would be a good idea if we were to haul the combine out and start cutting, because we could just leave it cutting while we're doing other things, and I can come back and I can keep emptying out the tank. Though I was thinking of getting some different mods to have a look at in regards to combining, but there are a few mods around, but there's nothing I think that we could fit onto the map at the moment that is particularly interesting. So we'll kind of just sort of blend that in with everything else that we're doing, because this forestry stuff that I'm looking at, I know that we've looked at the placeable. I'd like to get a bit more money out of the things that we're doing. But in particular, I want to have a look at this sawmill, and the sawmill does look very good. And then you've got the other placeable that goes with it. Well, it doesn't go with it necessarily, it can go alongside it, and that is that the bee pack one. I really want to have a look at that one and get that one going, and we had a look at something like it in old times, and I actually think, I've been thinking about this, and I did think, well, I probably wouldn't worry about it, but I think it could fit into here quite nicely. We're not going to spend lots of time doing it, but I think it could fit in enough that we can, like, spread a few of the placeables around and, you know, have a bit of a go with it and have a bit of fun with that one. So, anyway, we got the clamp here. I'm hoping that is now ready to open. It should be. If I think it is, anyway. I don't actually recall seeing anything come up, but, at the other hand, if we go on here, does it actually... Fermenting silage 100%. So, it does say 100%. If you go here, yes, we can open up the silo. So if I come back like this, you just go to the front of it and you press are. So there you go, that opens up the front. And then you can start putting down the conveyor belts in order to get everything flowing. So we'll do this one. We'll take this one off of follow. I just control F again. I'll bring that one up here. I'll bring it reasonably close, like that. Drop that one down. And I have just realized that most of this episode that I have been playing, my timer hasn't actually been running properly. So I've no idea how long I've been recording for. I have a timer on so that I don't go really over time, but at the same, well, as most of you know by now, I generally run over a bit anyway. I aim for 25 to 30 minutes. Normally, we're more than 30 minutes on an episode. That's not actually what I intend to do. Now, I've got installed a mod, and it should be working on this one. It's the one that, you remember how these used to work? You used to pile in the silage, and so long as there was something in the bin, it wouldn't, the money wouldn't drop, you know, the value that you get in the silage thing. If you look here, oh no, I just want to go to that one. We go here for silage. Yeah, so we're at $486 per 1,000 litres at the moment, and it's $463 at the barn. 485 on there. So yeah, that's dropping at the moment. That's not very good. We want that to be coming up. Anyway, the gas, when you put the silage into the thing up there, right? Helper I has stopped work unexpectedly. Tank is empty. We got to get him some seed in a minute. So that's one of the next things we're going to have to do. It looks like silage is forestry rather is taking a bit more of a back seat today. We've got so many other things that have suddenly come up. We're going to need to deal with a whole load of these things before we can go back to doing any forestry work, but I'm sure that's okay because I know that some of you do like me to give a bit of variety on what I'm doing here. So let me just lower that one down. So yes, the Silo King, the mod that I've got, basically so long as you've got silage going in there, the money doesn't drop. It stays at the same value. Now, the only thing is I do change the time a little bit when I'm doing this. So at the moment I've just knocked it back to 1 times. And I'm going to keep it on that just until we've gotten a decent bit of silage go in here so that it doesn't affect the time scale. The time scale is very important to keep an eye on what the time is actually doing on this one. So while that is running, I'm just going to switch this tractor off. We are going to run the pickup back over to the forestry area, and we're going to grab that Manitou with the bucket. And I'll be using that one back over here so that I can spoon a bit more silage into that bin there. I've just got to be very careful about the actual time scale. I don't want to use up all our silage just yet. And I also want to make sure that we keep silage in that bin. So I'm going to go and get the Manitou, and I'll bring it back over here. Then after we've done that, I don't even know if we're going to have time today. I want to get some seed up to the Challenger up in the top field. He's going to need some. We're at 32% fertilizer. You can see there with the glance mod. Several people have asked me what the numbers and everything are up in the top top left-hand corner. That is the glance mod. That is available on Mod Hub. Just install it, and I just use it as it is. You can go through and you can change all the settings in the files and everything, and you can get you can do all sorts of weird, wonderful, and cool things with it. I haven't attempted to do any of that. I'm using it straight out of the bag, exactly as it came, and it's pretty good. It's showing me everything that I could possibly need to know about all of our machinery. It's that good that I'm actually seriously considering starting to use it on my time-lapse series, because I think that the numbers and everything don't jump around. So, oh, 10,000, it's changed now. Look, see, it's gone to $10,000 there. Although I am wondering if I've actually got that mod installed on this. I think I have. Maybe I haven't. We'll find out sooner or later. So we've picked up another $10,000 for the silage, and I want to get some more. So I'm just going to take this Manitou over there. The other thing that I was planning to do is sorting out wood chips, but that's going to have to wait now. We're going to have to do some other stuff. So we'll come back and worry about this, and I won't tip it into that. I was thinking maybe we could tip it into the Joskin trailer. I won't do that either. I'll just leave it here in a heap, and we'll worry about it a bit later on. I've got to decide what to do with these. I think we'll use the wood chips for the sawmill. The reason that we need to get some silage sold and that possibly some more timber in that, is because the sawmill cost $200,000. So we got to find the money to be able to put down that placeable in the first place. Anyway, I'll get this one over to the silage area, and we can see about maybe selling a bit more silage. I'm absolutely certain that we're not supposed to come in this way, but they got no fence round, so why not? Let's live life dangerously, live life on the edge, and break a few boundaries. Now then, I'm hoping that if I push this one forward, because that's all what's happened is you've got a very small amount of silage there, and so we just nudge this one forward. Actually, I don't want to go right forward as far as we can go. I want to just bring it back a little bit. Then this one, this is the difficult bit, is getting this one out, because you never have a very good view on this one. It's always slightly unsatisfactory as far as I'm concerned. So we put that one down. There. Right, so that's full extension there. So actually we should be okay to push this one forward. We don't need to bring in the intermediate one just yet. If I bring that up to there, not quite. Yeah, push it up against the corner. There we go. So bring that one there. Now the problem is it's not going to quite reach. But if you press X and fold this one up. Actually, I'm going to turn the engine off, I think. No, I do need to have the engine on. If you press H, it actually moves those wheels around. And what those wheels are for, they're actually designed for when you're like sugar bit, or if you whatever you're piling up, you just press the hired help and put them going. And what they do is, I've actually made a bit of a mistake there. I want to bring that back a little bit further. Yeah, what they do is they spread the heap out, they move it from side to side, and by moving it from side to side, they like you make your heap a lot bigger. I know what I'm trying to say here. I'm just not doing it very well. Right, let's fold that back up. It does shake it around an awful lot when it's twisting the wheel. I'm not surprised. It's a fair weight to put on those wheels. And I can move forward a little bit now. How far can I move forward? I'm up against the corner of the silage clamp now. If I ram it forward a little bit, is that going to be enough? Is it reaching? It's just reaching. Look at that. If I nudge it back just a tiny bit so the stream goes into the bin, I would feel a bit better about that. Let's turn that one off. And it doesn't look like it's... Right, it's at 470 at the moment. 470 is actually a really good price for silage. So we want to get as much of this sold as we can. And so, yeah, I have used the conveyor belt sort of as it's intended like that before. And all you do is you put the hired help going, and it just sort of slowly moves from side to side, spreading your heap of silage out. And it works really, really well. I was really, really impressed with how it did do it. And I would use that again. Right, that wasn't quite what I intended to do there. I didn't want to be lifting that one up into the air. However, using this Manitou is going to be really, really useful over here. Because what we can do is we can just keep piling up a bit of silage in front of this one. I'm going to have to see if I can push that back a little bit so that I can get that... let's jump into here. Wrong one. That one, there we go. I want to just push that back a little bit more. It's because we got that lump of silage there, and having a lump of silage in front of us like that is not a good thing. Now we find out if we've got too... I don't think I've got that mod installed. That's a bit of a nuisance, that is. That really is a bit of a nuisance. And I want to get that tiny little bit of silage there in front of me onto this belt. I'm going to have to sort of keep shunting it backwards and forwards like this, in the hope that we can just get it. This isn't the ideal way to do this. It's knocking the price down a bit too much. But if I can do it like that, that should do it. That should get that little bit there in front of me. And then I can rotate it round, and I can push it a bit closer, and then we can worry about it. I mean, to be fair, I've sold silage at $300 per 1,000 litres, and I think you still get a very good price for it. I don't think you actually lose out in any way by selling it a little bit cheaper. Obviously it does make a difference. I'm not saying it doesn't make a difference. It obviously does make quite a significant difference depending on what you're selling and when. But when you need the money, if you want the money like immediately, and it's a choice between grabbing the money immediately or waiting for ages, I would rather just grab the money and go, to be honest. Now the next thing is, do I have to open it this end, or... Because last time I did this, I ran into a spot of bother. If I press R and open it, am I going to run into trouble when I come to the middle? I ran into trouble right in the middle of it last time, and we ended up sort of, it glitched a little bit. I'm not, were we mixing the conveyor belts and everything as well at the time? I'm not quite sure. So I'll just lift this one up round, and if we spin round, I'm going to keep selling silage for a little while here because of the stuff that I want to do. I need to get money. You do have to be very, very careful backing around the corner when you've got it right up in the air like that. It can be extremely dangerous. I found when I was doing the time-lapse that what I could do is I could put the conveyor belts running, and then I could start scooping silage from the back here. Sometimes I could put it in front so that I could just like keep the conveyor belts full, and then the rest of it I could tip straight into the actual bin, right alongside the silage, just to keep the bin full. However, I was using a silage grab for the front loader that is 10,000 litres rather than the 4,500 that this one is. So, you know, that makes a significant difference when it comes to, you know, time scale and how long stuff is going to take to do all this different stuff. And that's running in there. That's going quite well, actually. I don't think we've got any complaints about that. I don't really want to spend ages doing this. It's very time consuming and it's quite boring, to be honest. So let's just switch that one off. We'll let this one run. I think I can nudge it forward a little bit more, but actually I can't really, can I? That's about the full... We can go there. That's about the limit of where we can go. We'll have to just let that one run out, and then once that one's run out, we can get the other... If I jump up on here, that bit will run out there, and then we can get the intermediate one. We'll just push that one towards the bin a little bit, and then we'll move that one up that way. We can stuff in the intermediate one, and we'll be away. So we're down to 463. That is dropping as well. So we're not going to sell all of our silage, but what I want to do is I want to get above 100,000. Because if you go back through here and you look at our finances, oh, our loan is at 300,000. I thought our loan was 200,000. So I can't borrow any more money. That's a nuisance. I'm going to have to get the full 300,000. Or full 200,000 in order to get that placeable. That is... I didn't really want to have to do that. We just bring that forward like that. Stop right there. Jump this one up. And no, the mod is not actually active. I thought that I had the mod active for the Silo King thing. I'm going to have to do that for next episode. We'll sort of change the way that we're doing things a little bit. So let me just start this one up, and I'll bring that back. Which way do we want to go? We're going to bring it that way like that. I'm actually going to need to just run it forward quite a bit there. Then we've got room to get that other one out, but we're not going to worry about that now. We're going to go and rush off and do the next thing that I wanted to do, which is actually going to involve... Well, actually, no, first of all, we can just do it with this tractor, actually. We can do it with the tractor. I'm going to have to meet you at the dealership, and then from there, we're going to have to run back to the yard, and then we, from the yard, we're going to need to go up to the top so that we can see the Challenger up there. We've got 2 conveyor belts back at the yard that we may not need anymore if our new system works out okay, but we'll check that when we get to the dealership. Right then, we've got a bag of fertilizer on the floor, but I can't actually do anything about that at the moment. If we come into here, and I don't want the stuff that we own, I want tippers. Now, up through all of these tippers are in the mod hub, okay? All mods, unless I state otherwise, are in mod hub, and everything in here is in the mod hub. In particular, one that you might find quite interesting is the semi-tipper 70,000/6. This is from Black Sheep Modding, BSM. This one has a, with Kang LKW, I'm not sure what that is, with convoy with oversized load. Anyway, this one does have a rear hitch on it. I don't know if that's something to do with one of these. I don't know what Lang LKW means. And I don't know what convoy is either. So yeah, I'm not sure what those are. But however, this is a 70,000 litre trailer. And it is available on console. So anybody that didn't know, you can get that on console. Any platform you're on, you can use that. You can set it up to have an actual decent sized road train. So thank you very much to Black Sheep Modding for that one. That is fantastic. We really appreciate it. But the one that I'm looking at today is one of these. Now that one there is the regular 4-wheel AgroLiner trailer. This is the the one with the turntable, rather, the fifth wheel one. And this is the regular trailer one. This is the one that I want. I know it's a bit more expensive, but it's still the one that I want. If you have a look at all of the different things you can put into this one and this one, these don't take it. You can put fertilizer there, you can put seed in there, and then you can put all of the grains in. You cannot put, and you put pig food, and you can put wood chips. Basically anything that will go through an auger. You cannot put anything else in here. And for very good reason. So we get that one there, and we go to wheel setup. We will go wide tyres on this one. Main colour green. No, I think that we go... Ooh. That's extra colours up there, isn't it? We don't normally have those colours on option. On offer. Let's go for black. Let's go for jet black. And design colour. Ooh. Actually, yeah, we'll stick with yellow on that, I think. We'll go for yellow. Design is standard. Design auger wagon. Right, we want auger wagon for this one because that puts this bit on the back and we need that. Design white, design colour. Alright, let's go design colour. I'm not sure what that's all about. Rims, we're going to go yellow as well on the rims because we're having a black one. I think that's enough modifications. So $2,192 for lease. Yes, we do. Okay, back, and there we go. Right. Actually, that looks pretty cool. That does actually look pretty cool. I like that. Come on, round. Yes. That is a very nice looking trailer. Quite pleased with that one, actually. So, yes, this trailer, what it does is just a seed overloader. And if you watched the time-lapse episode, you will have seen me using it on there. I'm that impressed with it. It does hold, I think it's 20-odd thousand. We can't just load the seed from the side, though. At least I don't think we can. If I park up here... Oh! Ooh. Refill... It does! It works just like the... Oh, sweet! I didn't know you could do that. I'm assuming you can't do that with a regular trailer, but it does appear that you can do it with these. That's brilliant. That's actually going to save us a little bit of a trip. We don't need to go back to the yard. Although, to be honest, I don't want to buy too many pallets. We get a few. Yes, and yes, right. Let me get, I would say, 5 maybe, if we get 5. Maybe we could get a few more than that, even. 80,000. Let's run it back down to 75,000, because it's 1,000 in a pallet. Right, $75,000 left. We need to get another $125,000 in order to be able to completely, to be able to buy the placeable that we're after. So let me just go here and we press R to refill the tipper. It works. That is fantastic. I genuinely didn't know that we could do this. This is brilliant. So let's just turn off that help there. Back up round. And like I said before, this is actually realistic. Yes, it doesn't. You don't actually see us doing this. But what you're actually doing here is you're not just magically tipping the stuff into the trailer. You're actually getting out there with a bucket and a shovel and you're chucking it in by hand. Time consuming, it takes a while, but it's been done many times by many farmers all over the world. So yeah, I'd say that this is completely realistic doing it. We're doing it a little faster than most farmers would have ever done this. I forgot to put it back onto 5 times speed. This is the problem when you start playing around with time, as you forget to put things back how you found them. Right, my timer is going off. Like I said before, I'm purely guessing as to whether we've actually got the right time on this one. But let's just finish loading this up. So this is my new idea for storing our seed and our fertilizer. We stuff them into these 2 trailers. we can keep them full. It's easy to refill them. We can bring them back here and we can just load them up like this. I didn't know that we could do this. I was expecting to have to just, you know, run up with the Manitou from the cattle farm and do it with that one, but we don't even need to do that. We can just come up here and then we'll park this back at the yard somewhere and job done. We don't need to worry about it. We don't have to have those conveyor belts set up. We don't have to worry about getting stuff out for the conveyor belts. So the conveyor belt system is really, really good and it does work really well, but I'm thinking I would like this because we can take this wherever the seed drill happens to be and we can leave it parked in the yard, tipped up, and we can use that as well if we want to. So yeah, I'm going to meet you up at the field, up at field 1, just so that we can tip this into the seed drill up there and then say fare thee well. Right, there is our tractor ready and waiting, and as usual, the animation for the seed drill working doesn't switch off when the hired help stops itself unexpectedly. No idea why. Jump into the tractor and it will switch itself off. So let's open that one up. We're going to need to run round to the other side of it. I was always told when I was running seed out to the seed drill, I mean, generally I didn't do that. Generally I was the one doing the actual seed drilling when I was working on a place. I haven't worked on very many arable places, so I have worked on a couple. So we bring that one over here like this. I was always told that it didn't matter if the tractor with the seed runs out across the field because you've only just planted it, so it's not going to be much of an issue, and you're not running up and down repeatedly, and you generally would have a smaller tractor to do it, so you didn't have any compaction issues. So what you do is you extend that one out, you turn that one on. That's keypad number 9. You see here on the thing, keypad 9, pipe on or pipe off. So we want to turn the pipe on. Then what you want to do is you want to pipe out. Now pipe out, you just press O, the normal pipe out configuration. It lifts the trailer up like that, and there you go. Hey presto, you've got your seed overloader, and then you just back it up. And if you want to, you can move that. There is an option to do that. That one, yeah, you can lift the pipe up and down. You just move the mouse side to side while you're holding down the left mouse button. And that's it, that's full. So if I press O and lower the trailer down, keypad 9 disengages the auger on that one and sort of puts it down out of the way. And there you have it, that's it. That is our overloading trailer. This is an absolutely perfect mod. It's small. I did have that one for the truck in the time-lapse for a little while. A couple people said that they had some real trouble trying to download that one because I wasn't able to find it on a clean download. And so I have now removed that one from the game and we've gone for this one instead because, quite frankly, this one is a lot better. We don't have to drag it around with a great big truck, and it's just generally a whole lot easier and friendlier, and quite frankly, I personally, I really love it because it looks almost identical to the setup that I used to use when I was working on a big arable estate and we were doing our drilling. I had an Amazon. It wasn't an Amazon Condor, it was a slightly smaller Amazon drill, but it was an Amazon direct drill, and it had a trailer that was almost identical to that one over there that we actually did the drilling with. So this is absolutely fantastic as far as I'm concerned. I'm reliving my youth, actually. It was, I think I was 20 years old when I was actually doing this. Maybe 21. I think I turned 21 while I was doing it. Anyway, I have completely run out of time. So my question for this week is that little Fendt tractor that we were using yesterday, which if we go into our garage and we go to our leased items, it is this one, he says. This one. There it is. That one there. The Fendt GT 255. Off of the mod hub. It's a fantastic little tractor. We got it loaded up with wood chips. We'll do something with that tomorrow so you can see it again. It does actually take a front loader, and we didn't try it with a front loader. I don't know how you'd even fit a front loader on that thing. No idea whether it would go onto the back or something. The Fendt GT can be used for many purposes thanks to convertibility to the front loader or as a platform for objects. So yeah, I don't know if the platform comes off when you use a front loader or what. I genuinely no idea on that one. Be interesting to find out. Hopefully it doesn't clip right the way through it, but we'll find out. We'll see on that. Do you want me to use this on a permanent basis? If you do, we're trying it out at the moment. We just leased it, but if we like it, if you guys want me to keep it, we will return it, and then we will buy it so that it becomes a permanent addition to our fleet. Yes or no? It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know what you would like and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner by mousing over the little white circle. If you've enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.